What is going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Laracuente here for the Baseball Banter Broadcast. And on this broadcast, we're going to be going over our top 10 right fielders right now in Major League Baseball ahead of the 2023 season. Now, MLB Network does this top 10 right now for each and every position every single offseason, and we've been doing our own as well. So we have corresponding articles up on laracuenteledger.com. Links to the article on the top 10 right fielders will be in the show notes below. But stay tuned to the end. We have special news about a giveaway that we're going to be running at the 500 subscribers mark here on YouTube. So keep it locked into the end to find out how you can gain a giveaway from us here at the Baseball Banter Broadcast. Now, we begin with number 10. Now, number 10 may seem like a throwaway pick, but in reality, I just very much believe in this player and his ability. Fernando Tatis Jr. is likely going to be the right fielder for the San Diego Padres in 2023. He's listed as that on MLB Network's Twitter page when they put up the pieces as far as who's in these positions. And I genuinely believe that even though Tatis is going to be missing like the first month of the season, that this is a player whose talent is so dynamic that as long as he's healthy, this is going to be somebody that we're discussing throughout the course of the season. So I think that, yes, there is a lot of controversy that surrounds him because of the PED suspension, but when on the field, this is one of the most dynamic and entertaining players in Major League Baseball. Now, number 9 on the list is Philadelphia Philly Nicholas Castellano. Now, there's going to be an interesting thing and an interesting dynamic in Philadelphia right now when it comes to this kind of right field position. I think that for Castellanos, he had a down year in 2022, but there's going to be a lot more in the tank for him in 2023. I think that the experience that he got in the postseason, the play that we saw from him really lends itself to a bounce back campaign in 2023 and being one of the 10 best right fielders in the game today. Now, number 8 on my list of the top 10 right fielders right now is one of the more underrated players in all of Major League Baseball, in my opinion, and it is that of Hunter Renfro. Renfro, to me, is constantly being overlooked and undervalued. And with that, he's going to an Angels team that this year is really going to try to compete in the biggest of ways, as they're going to try to keep Shohei Ohtani in long term. With that, you're going to have to put a competitive team on the field, and having Hunter Renfro is going to be one of those opportunities. I think that when you look at his combination of defense and power, this is going to be a guy who can really plug into the middle of that Angels lineup and help benefit in a big way. Now, number 7 on my list would see a breakout campaign from the Cardinals rookie Lars Nootbaar. Now, I think when you look at Newt, this is going to be a guy that really starts to blossom in 2023 and beyond. I think that there's going to be a absolute fan base, a push for this player in the MLB Network countdown of the top 10 right fielders right now. I think that this player will find his name on the Shredders list, as well as many of the baseball pundits. When you look at the fact that he had an OPS plus of 126, league average being 100, 14 home runs, 40 RBIs in just 103 games. When you really start to project that out over a longer season as this player continues to mature, to me, this is going to be one of the best young players in the position, but as well as in Major League Baseball. And I think as he continues to grow and mature into his game, he's going to rocket himself right up this top 10 list. Now, number 6 on my list is the newest Seattle Mariner, Teoscar Hernandez. This is, to me, another very impactful, very underrated bat in Major League Baseball. It was a shock to the baseball landscape when Teoscar was acquired by the Mariners, the Blue Jays trading him away. This was a very big player inside of the clubhouse for the Blue Jays. So it's going to be interesting to see how he translates that to a bit of a bigger ballpark in Seattle at T-Mobile Park, formerly known as Safeco Field. There's no doubt that the Mariners are really starting to build something impactful, and Teoscar is going to be right in the middle of it. His power presence is going to be a force for the Mariners as they try to chase down and potentially even knock off the Houston Astros. Now, number 5 on my list may seem like a waste of a pick, but Bryce Harper to me is one of the very best right fielders in the game of Major League Baseball. Now, I say it may seem like a wasted pick because we know that Harper is going to be recovering from Tommy John surgery on his elbow and is going to be missing a little bit of time in the season in 2023. But I do believe that Bryce comes back earlier than expected and goes right into right field and starts to dominate once again. When you look at the talent that Bryce Harper has outside of the injury, he could very easily be much higher on this list. But knowing that this is going to be a player that is going to be facing a rehab situation, that isn't going to be on the team jumping out of the gate, I think that there is a little bit more room for having him in the middle of this pack. But there's very little question that Bryce Harper's of the upper echelon of Major League players, and even more so than just in right field. Now, as we look at the number 4 player on my list, and to me, there's a very big distinction between the top 5 and the rest of this list, but the rest of this list is getting much closer. Ronald Acuna Jr. is number 4 on my list, and that may seem kind of crazy to think about when you look at the fact that this is a very young player still coming into his own, likely going to be one of the most dominant forces in Major League Baseball in 2023 and beyond. But I think that there's just so much talent on this list that it is a player like Acuna, who very easily could be 1, 2, 3, is really dropping into the number 4 spot. And I say that almost facetiously because Acuna is going to be one of the best players in Major League Baseball, could easily push up to the number 1 spot on this list. And in my opinion, any one of these 4 players, 4 through 1 on this top 10 right fielders list, could easily find themselves as the number 1 right fielder in the game. So we have to list them out somehow. Acuna falls into the number 4 spot. Now, as we look at the number 3 right fielder in the game, it is Mookie Betts. I think that when you look at Mookie Betts, this is a stalwart on this list of top 10 right fielders right now. Yes, as I just said in terms of Acuna, any one of these 4 players in this top 4 list could easily be number 1, and each one of these 4 players has a case to be number 1. Mookie Betts is without question and has been one of the best players in Major League Baseball. Now, Mookie has missed some time over the past couple of seasons, which could knock him further down on this list if that continues to be the case. But with his skill set, the diversity of his skill set, there's no doubt about it that Mookie Betts is one of the top 4 right fielders in the game today. Now, as we look at the number 2 right fielder in the game, it is Kyle Tucker of the Houston Astros. Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but Kyle Tucker could easily be the number 1 right fielder in the game. His combination of defense and power is absolutely real. There's no question about it. When you look at what this player has been able to do for the Houston Astros over the last few seasons, this has been one of the best and most consistent bats in their lineup. I think that going into 2023, he's going to continue to get better, and that's a scary thought for the rest of the American League West, and Major League Baseball as a whole. I think that when you look at what Tucker can be going forward, this is going to be one of the most impactful, forceful bats in a very dynamic and powerful lineup for the Houston Astros. This is going to be one of the players that opposing managers and opposing teams have to game plan around. And there's very little question that Kyle Tucker deserves to be amongst the top 10 right fielders in the game right now. So I think it's pretty obvious then who the number 1 right fielder in the game right now is, and that is Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. Coming off of a American League record-setting 62 home run campaign and an AL MVP to boot, Aaron Judge is heading into a brand new era, the captaincy era that he has now as being the 16th captain in Yankees franchise history, as well as trying to defend his most valuable player award for 2022. Now, is he going to have another campaign like he had in 2022? Many would say no, but there's still very little question that even if he regresses back a bit, this is still one of the most powerful and impactful bats in Major League Baseball. Not to mention a very good base runner, a great defender with an absolute rocket of an arm. This is a 5-tool player. Judge was competing for the Triple Crown, the batting average title, home runs, and RBIs in 2022, and just fell short of the batting average. There is no doubt about it. This is a player who prioritizes being a hitter first and with power second. So heading into the 2023 campaign, Aaron Judge is the #1 right fielder in the game. So I encourage you, make your own list, see how difficult of a list it is to put together, and see just how much your personal biases factor in terms of the players that you're selecting and the order that you're placing them. So as I alluded to in the beginning, we're going to be having a giveaway here as we reach the 500 subscriber plateau on this Baseball Banter Broadcast YouTube channel. We're going to be giving away a Baseball Banter Broadcast thermos. You see the logo, the insignia, as well as the name of the channel. So your best ways and the only ways to really be factored into this giveaway is you have to be a subscriber here on YouTube. If you follow us on our Instagram page, Baseball Banter Broadcast, our TikTok page, Baseball Banter Broadcast, or on Twitter, Banter_baseball. Those are going to be the only ways to be entered into this giveaway lottery that we're going to be doing. It's going to be a random drawing, and the more places that you follow us, the better your chances are to be able to be a winner for this particular giveaway. So again, once we reach the 500 subscriber plateau here on YouTube, we're going to be doing that giveaway. So your best ways to get entries to the drawing that we're going to be doing is to be a subscriber here on YouTube. That is a must, as well as extra entries for following us on Instagram and TikTok, Baseball Banter Broadcast, and on Twitter at Banter_baseball. So I want to thank you guys. Keep it locked in if you haven't already subscribed by hitting the subscribe button down below and the bell for post notifications as we continue to try to grow this baseball community, this baseball family that we're building here on the Baseball Banter Broadcast. Keep it locked in as I continue to look at the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.